guys, we're gonna jump straight into this. I start off by moisturizing my lips with Carmax. Now I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever mattifying primer to make sure I prime my face to keep it from being oily. Next, I'm gonna use the baby skin to make sure my pores look, smooth, so the makeup goes on kind of flawless. And then I'm gonna use the Prep and Prime under my skin. Um, well, on top of my skin, on top of the primer as well, to make sure that, I kind of get like a nice highlight because it does have shimmer in it. And then I'm just going to work all of that in. It gets a little bit rough to rub in because of the first primer. It really does mattify everything. And my boyfriend was listening to music with me doing our funny dance. Now I'm gonna go in with the spoolie. I use the spoolie to make sure my eyebrows are, the hairs are in place. Then I go on with my Wet n Wild eyeliner pencil, but I use it as a eyebrow pencil. So I start by outlining the bottom first, just kind of follow my natural um, eyebrow line. And honestly, even when my eyebrows are not done, I follow that same line to keep them from being too thick. And I do them together. I don't do them one at a time to make sure they're as even as possible. Then I go to the top. Once I go to the top, I bring it down over. The bottom one, I don't bring it down under. I bring it into the hair um on the eyebrow. And once I do that, once it's filled in enough from that, or once it's outlined enough, I'm gonna end up going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. But I make sure I use my pencil on the outside to make sure my ends are dark enough because that dip brow is a little light. So I couldn't find my regular brush, but that one had to work. I make sure I use an angled brush when I do that, just to make sure I can kind of stay in the lines and keep it clean. My boyfriend's bothering me again. He was actually mimicking everything that I was doing because he knew I was recording. And then what I do, I don't go all the way to the front with it initially. Once I get like halfway or a third through, I like kind of tap it on the front to make somewhat, um, I guess, of an illusion of hairs, of eyebrow hair. We're having a blast. So next, I'm gonna go on with that Eco Tools kit. I went to look for you guys to see if I see it. I got that from Sephora a couple years ago. I don't see that exact kit anymore. I see one that's pink and it doesn't have the same brushes. But you can get any brush like that. I actually see that MAC has one that works that I plan on getting. And I'm actually gonna look it up for you guys to let you know exactly which one it is. I'll put in the description. And now I'm gonna go on with my LA Girl concealer, or Pro Concealer, and I believe the color is Toffee. And that I'm gonna use that to outline the bottom, or to clean up the bottom and the outside of the top. So I make sure that I don't do my entire eyebrow with that color because I'm dark skinned, so I don't want to use a concealer that's too light for my eyebrows and then the only thing popping on my face is eyebrows. I need it to all go together kind of naturally. What I do on the bottom, I just keep the brush flat. Once I get to that edge right there, I don't just bring it down. I actually do like a pivot with my wrist to make sure that that arch is clean. And then here I'm just gonna keep the brush flat, go to the bottom of it, go down with the bottom of it. And I think I actually needed my eyebrows done a little bit on there too. I couldn't get them how I wanted them to save my life, but I didn't have time to fix them. They were suffice. So now I use that same brush, I clean it off, just with like a tissue or a paper towel. Just rub it across a couple of times. And then I go in with my matte concealer. It's a studio finish concealer, and it's kind of like it's like a cream pressed concealer. I just swipe it in there like 2 times. Then I go over the top with something that's more so my skin tone. I don't do it perfect initially. I just kind of get an outline, and they look kind of thick. And then I turn the brush and I clean it up how I want it to be because I don't like my eyebrows to be too thick. So now I'm gonna take the brush right next to it. I'm gonna dip it. I'm gonna wipe it off to make sure that there's no excess concealer of any color on there. I go through and I draw one line in between my eyebrows, right in the same line as where my nose is, to make sure my eyebrows are not, unibrowing. For some reason, I could not get my eyebrow in to look right. I think it was because I was rushing. And then I just clean up around the entire thing. Now, what I'm gonna do, because I'm moving on to my eyes, I can't remember what song was playing, but now because I'm moving on to my eyes, I'm gonna take my eyelashes and I'm gonna go ahead and put the glue on them. So when I finish with my eyes, they'll be tacky enough to put on. Work smart, not hard, ladies. You gotta save time. So the glue that I actually use is Duo. It's a strip lash adhesive. And make sure if you're dark skinned or you want more black um, glue, get the dark tone because it's like a dark color. Well, it's kind of like black. It looks like hair glue. It looks like a diluted version of hair glue, but it works great for me. So you never just pull the lashes off. That's how you end up with bent lashes and they look crazy when you put them on. You slide them off with your thumb, as I'm showing you. And once you get the glue off of there, the glue that already comes on there, um, then you can just pull it off once it's not stuck anymore. So now I'm going to take the glue. I'm gonna it was kind of getting to the wit's end of that glue, so I had to kind of smoosh it around a little bit just to make sure it was not separated. So I go through and I put a moderate amount. I don't put a little bit. I don't put a lot. I'm gonna put a moderate amount simply because when you sit the lash down, a little bit of the glue actually comes off of it. So by the time you pick it back up, it's just enough for when you need to put it on because you don't want to pull your real eyelashes out. So what I do, I set them back on the same case they came in, so that way I can remember which eye it needs to go on. Because if you look at the lashes, one side of the lash, the hairs are a little shorter in most cases. You don't want to walk around looking crazy. So then I set it over there and I start on my eyes. I wasn't doing anything magnificent on my eyes. It was just something simple. I didn't want to look too much. I was just going to take a passport picture, so I don't want to look like too much. Because going with that same concealer, just popping it right on top of my eyes, just to kind of kill some of that oiliness. And then I'm gonna end up going in with that same concealer I use on the top of my eyebrows to bring the tone down, because that's the one I use on top of my eyebrows are a little waxy. The one that I used under is a little bit more dry. So now that I go on with I'm on top with it, it kind of brings the color back to my natural tone. And then I'm going to use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark Deep. And I'm going to put that on top as well to keep it matte. So now I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Studio Cream Eyeliner in the color Black. And then there's a little brush. That brush actually came with a different, with I think a L'Oreal or a Maybelline liquid eyeliner that is great, but I just can't find it. And it looks kind of like a lip brush, if that helps. So before that, I actually gone with the Hard Candy felt tip liner to it's kind of like a guide for me. So I use that to make the eyeliner a little bit more crisp, I guess, or something to actually follow. And once that dries, I go on with the cream one. I don't go dramatic on the eyeliner anymore. I don't think it looks that good with hooded eyes because I have hooded eyes. Yeah, that was kind of hard. That was kind of hard for me. I tried to dip the eyeliner into the powder. Great. But no, it was kind of hard for me trying to do it with one hand. Because the mirror that I had was too far over, and you guys won't be able to see me put it on. So now I go with my favorite mascara, Hot and Naughty by MAC. It's 2 black. You make sure you get the one with the double purple tops, not the purple and pink top. And I put that on. Um, I guess kind of to protect my real eyelashes. I just do like a light coat to protect it from the glue. So when I take it off, it's not difficult. Kind of like when girls, wear weave and they get a glue, a quick weave, and they put something over their real hair to protect it. Kind of the same thing. So now I grab the lashes with my tweezers. I use the flat end to make sure it lays flat on my eyelash on top of my eye instead of poking me. So I apply more pressure and place the lash in the middle first. I think that I didn't put enough lash glue on. That glue was like actually um, almost out, and it was kind of watery. I think I remember saying that. So now I gotta wait. I have to wait for it to dry again, which is sad. I'm sorry if I sound a little raspy. My voice kind of went away a little bit, but I really needed to get this voiceover done since I found my mic after 2 months. Okay, there you go. So the other lash I could do it. You see where I placed applied more pressure in the middle first, and then I worked on the outer edge and then the inner edge. The reason for that is so it can lay evenly. Instead of putting the front one on first and trying to follow it, it kind of drags if you do that, or it ends up on top of the outside of your lash. So I put the middle one, put it in the middle first, and then I place it on the outside to make sure that it's far enough over. Because if it's not, I'll just drag it over a little bit, and then I place the inside. So I you can kind of see where it is before you place it or you lay it completely on your eyelash. And I make sure that I don't lay it on my eyelash, but I don't lay it on, directly on top of my lid either. I kind of find that crease in between and place it in there. And then I go on with my finger after I place it, and I just kind of mash it together to make sure that it's, stuck there for the day at least. And I actually do pull my eye, or grab right there on the side of my eye and pull it out, kind of like when you put on eyeliner. Do the exact same thing. And that lash too on the apron. Because the glue wasn't dry. I had to get off camera for a second. I had to use my mirror that was closest to me to get that together. And now I'm going to go with my MAC Prep and Prime Peach Luster. And I just use that to go color correct under my eye. And it's going to kind of make my highlight look a little bit better, since I have a few dark circles. And when the concealer, when the foundation goes on over it, it doesn't make it look, your eyes look so deep under. Now I'm going to just spray my little makeup wedge with the setting spray, so that way the concealer goes through a little bit better. And now I'm going to use my MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation in W47. I actually use that to do the, basically more so where I'm going to contour, because that one is actually darker. So I'll go on with that one first, and you'll see it goes more so where I actually contour. And that's a flat brush, a flat kabuki brush that I actually, I'm using for that. And now I'm going to go on with NC50 in the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. It's a little bit lighter, and I'm going to take that more so where I highlight at. I normally mix the two colors, but since it's, more summertime, I actually need that dark shade to stay dark. So it kind of gives you a pretty pop of highlight already before you do the highlighting contour. How did I forget my nose? And then I just squeeze the brush to thin it out. To go in between my brows, because you don't want your brows, all that hard work you did on your brows, you don't want them to be separated too far. And now I'm going to go in with that same concealer that I used earlier. Spray my wedge again and just go through and, smooth that out. And everything you're seeing, this is more of a natural look. I do have a new routine for a more dramatic look, and I'm actually going to bring that to you guys very soon. And I'm going with that same pressed powder under my eye to actually set. I don't really bake with, anything. I just haven't really gotten into that. It's just hard for me as a dark skinned girl to really trust baking. I tried it and I looked dead, so I didn't do it. Now I'm going to use my Black Radiance concealer stick and go in to do my contour. Kind of brings a little depth to your face. And then right there on my nose, I do a very thin line. And across, I do a line across too. I think that kind of gives you more of a button. Same palette, or same set. And then I'm using the last brush there. Going with the CoverGirl Ebony, Queen Hue. CoverGirl Queen Hue Ebony Bronzer. I use that on top of my concealer as well, because that concealer again is cream. This is a powder, to kind of make sure that stays matte, and it is a little darker, so it kind of brings a little bit more depth to my face. Some people only contour in the out corners of their face. Bless me. But I go all the way down to the crease of my lips, because to me, it just brings more of it just brings your face out more, and I like it. And then I don't add any extra to the brush to go through and do my nose, because that's just too much. And then I go in with this is my favorite blush too, by the way. I went to MAC just to figure out the name of it for you guys. I had it for about 2 or 3 years. And the lady said, "You're not going to have to buy another one of these for a long time." And the name wore off. But it's sweet as cocoa. It gives you like a really natural rose color to not rose color, but natural color to your cheeks. I know you guys see that line right there, but it's going to actually all come together once I put my setting spray on. Then I go in, I use an e.l.f. brush. I think that's a crease brush. It's supposed to be used for eyeliner. Technically, I am using it for it's supposed to be used for eyeshadow. Technically, I am using it for eyeshadow. But I'm using it to highlight. So I dip it, just do a little dip into the into the amber lights eyeshadow. I do like a little pivot dab on my tip of my nose, and I go into my Cupid's bow and everything. But then I'm going to use the Heart Candy eyeshadow palette, and I believe I'm going to go on with the lightest color in the top left. Oh no, I think I was wearing gold that day, so I didn't. I used the one right under it, and then I just go right on the corner of my eyes. It gives like a nice little highlight, I believe. Kind of brings your eyes out, make them pop a little bit. If you're not, if you don't feel like giving yourself the whole eyeshadow spill, you can just do that, and it still gives you like a natural look. And I feel like I'm forgetting to do that. So I know you're wondering, why didn't I put on mascara? I'm gonna spray my face first with the setting spray, because if you put the mascara on beforehand, it'll bleed onto your face. So now I'm gonna go on with my mascara if I can find it. I use the first top first, which is the thinner brush, and I'm gonna go in like regular eyelashes, do the bottom, and then brush it through the top literally, so all the you can catch the hairs. And I go through with my bottom lashes, use the top of the mascara wand to kind of get that excess mascara right onto my eyelash, and then spread it out with the brush, because I kind of like the bold bottom lash. And then I go with the second top. It's thicker, it gives you more product, and it makes the lashes look much more much fuller. And you're done. And this is actually the final product. This is the hair that I just did a review on for you guys. This is how it looks on the unit. And I have a natural look, more so natural look, and I can still kind of look like myself even when I'm going through the airport with my passenger. Thanks for watching, guys.